Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sunesha, and this is the Swine. And this is Swine Radio. Today I think I'm gonna talk about XCOM 2 and also the pricing of games. I think we'll start with the pricing because this subject came to me when I actually pre-ordered or pre-purchased. I don't know the different. It's just different name, but it's like a pre-order. But yeah, they're always trying to mix things up, so you think you get more what you deserve. I have bought XCOM 2 for €49.99, a full game for €50. And that's excellent because that is affordable for me. One of the things, I'm a console man also, but I bought this game, of course, on Steam for PC. So on Xbox One or Xbox 360, the game is always released for €70. All full games are released for €70, and that's €20 more, and that is actually quite a lot of money for me, as I am not. I only work part time, so I think a normal month I don't have like more than €350 after my bill is paid. So I'm not flushed with cash, but I work only part-time, so you shouldn't pity me because this is by choice. I value my free time more than money, so I work less, but so I get less money. So €20 for me is actually a lot of money for me. It makes a difference because that's like 10% of my salary, and after. So if I'm gonna spend money, and that's one of the things why I'm not buy game at release. XCOM 2 was the exception to the rule because it was a game I really wanted to have. I really wanted to play. It was one of the reasons I bought a graphic card for my PC. My PC is powerful and so on, but I didn't have a great graphic card. It was not part of the plan because I'm a console man. And I started as a console man because 10 years ago I used to work more for audio and music production and so on. So the obvious choice in that branch of business is often an Apple computer. So I had an Apple computer with Mac OS 10, and that was not the best computer in the world for doing gaming. That has changed a bit because you can play. You can use Windows on Macs now, so they have access to all the PC gaming. But at that time, the console was the perfect solution for me because I just put the disc inside my console, then I play. And I didn't have to worry about it. Yes, you can build a PC for much less money, and then you have to. But the thing when you buy a console, one of the best benefits of buying a console is that I know that my Xbox One is supported in 3 years, but I can't promise you that my computer will work very well with game 3 years ago. But maybe with it's a stupid discussion because for me it was the best solution, and it also was the solution because my nephew, one of the people I game with online, has the Xbox, and we still play a lot of Xbox online and have a great time chatting and playing. We usually play a game of pool when we are tired, and then we just chat like playing a real pool. Yeah. So what I was saying, I don't really understand the pricing on the console. The console is affordable system for some people, but the games is not affordable at release. And it's really weird if the digital the digital copies is always so overpriced over the physical copy. You can get a game quite to attractive price if you buy the physical product, but for me, living in Cyprus right now, I'm like in the southern east corner of Europe, and everything costs money to ship it over here. there are a couple of countries in Europe that ship to Cyprus with a good price, but it sometimes that costs the difference between. So digital also. So for me, digital is a solution because sometimes the shipping cost is too much. I don't know. It depends. It really depends where I buy the game or where I can find the game. But I don't really understand why the digital copies should be so expensive at release when you can buy a physical copy much cheaper. I understand that they don't want to compete with their customer. That it's not we that are their customer. Remember that. You should always remember that it's the middle hand that is the customer, and that is the people the game companies care most about. They want Best Buy or whatever it's called in your country to buy their stuff because they buy a lot, and so that's their main customer. But it's like the digital format on the consoles. I don't really understand the price settings because it's not like a console has any piracy problems at all. It's a very little problem if there is someone, and most people buy physical copies or digital copies. It's not like piracy is a thing on consoles. So I don't understand why a full game should cost 50, 70 euros. And I thought about it. For me, a guy with a modest salary, it can make a great difference for me, because if I should buy, let us say that I would buy 10 full-priced games on digital games per year. That's if everyone I could buy them for 50 euros. That's 200 euros. For 200 euros, even a crappy computer will have a great upgrade for a graphic card with 200 euros, and then you have the digital purchases at Steam or other services. For example, this Christmas sale, I spent 50 euros buying games to myself, and I got about 11 games or something, and that is not even possible. And for example, one of the games I really wanted to have for a very long time, and it has the thing is with the sales on the Xbox, the Microsoft sales, is often old AAA games, and they are the same one that are sale. I don't know how many times GTA 4 has been on sale, but it's probably around 4 to 6 times a year they put the sale, and this sale is every week, but it's always the same games, and it's often on AAA games. Sometimes they can be cheap, but they are far from cheap, and the game I wanted for a very long time was Velvet Assassin, and that was a game I wanted to play. I saw it on sale for 50 euros once, and I didn't pick it up there because I feel 50 euros was too much for a game that's not even that popular or anything. But so I missed it, and they wanted 30 euros for it, and I really didn't want to pay that. And now in the Steam sale, I'm just a little bit paranoid. Last time I recorded, I accidentally didn't record, so I'm just gonna check that. I'll be back in a moment. Yes, I'm recording, but it was really sad. 45 minutes I spoke to myself, sitting here on my sofa and spreading bullshit like I do, and I didn't record it, so I would do this, had to do it over, but I started completely over. I will not try to recreate my old session, but this is how it goes. Yeah, so I picked up Velvet Assassin for 199 euro. That's like 7 times cheaper than this Xbox sale. 7 times cheaper. And that makes a great difference for me, and I haven't bought any Xbox games and since December, since I got my graphic card, because my console, Microsoft's Xbox store can't compete with Steam with prices. For me, prices are important. It really doesn't matter what platform I'm playing on. I'm happy with both of the platform as the gaming platform. It's no really difference for me. I don't care. But I care about the price because it can make a difference between. For 15 euros, I will get a lot more games. For 50 euros, for 70 euros, I can get a lot of game. I can get a full price game and an old game for the same price, and that's not even when they are on sale. So if it's a sale, I can even get it to a better price. And I think they are shooting themselves in the foot by nerfing their own Xbox store in that way, because it's stupid, because they have lost money now, because I probably will buy many games on PC just because of it's a lot more affordable for me. And that was an investment for me. I had a very powerful PC, so but I didn't have a graphic card. But I got a graphic card as a gift for my family this Christmas. So for me, now that I have done this investment, so I can actually play games on PC, and I can play very decently with my graphic card on PC. So so now Xbox Store has to compete with me. And if they can't compete me digitally, I don't have I will. It is hard to buy physical copies, especially of older games. I really enjoy playing older games and find funny games to play. And most of my game, if somebody is checking out my Steam library, you will see the trend that I'm actually buying older games. And for me, that's a thing I do. I usually buy XCOM 2 was a big exception, because that was one of the reasons I wanted to play on PC, because of that game, and that was the game that got me to wish for an upgrade for my PC so I can play it, because I will not be sure when it would be released on consoles. I don't believe it will be a PC exclusive, but I can promise you that they probably will port it over to consoles later, but I didn't want to wait for that, and it was not a sure thing, because I don't think strategy games they are very unusual on the Xbox platform. So I don't know how they sell there, but this is a very popular game. The old XCOM played very well with the controller. It was I know that there was even PC people that with the controller. So it was actually working very well with the controller. It was probably because it was designed from the start to be able to play with the controller. Yeah, so now I will play with the mouse and keyboard, and mouse and keyboard is good, but yeah, it's good for strategy games. It would be a brief. I will have more keys and a mouse pointer, but yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, so how... I don't really understand the pricing, especially if we were speaking about Europe as a customer. Many people in Europe, especially in Eastern Europe, they have very modest salaries, and PC buying digital games is not affordable at all. I think the used market and so on, the physical market is where. That's why one of the belief I have why they say I've read somewhere that physical copies is still selling as much as before on Xbox, and that doesn't tell a lot, because the digital stores are so fucking expensive compared to physical copies. So I understand from if you're a kid or you don't have a lot of money, you're a student or you don't have a big salary, you don't buy digital games because they're expensive. It's not like people buying the physical copy only because they prefer it. It's just because it's more affordable. And I don't really understand this design choice, and I don't really know why. It's really weird. It's really stupid in that way, because If you think, I prefer a physical copy because you have it for always. That way, a physical copy is more better because as long as I have a working Xbox, I can play those games. But if you're buying something digital, it's the same with books. Something that's the same trend in Sweden, at least. The books often cost more or as much as the physical copy, but the physical copy has more value to me because it's something you can put in your library. But it's really weird. Yeah, but they are so stupid. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about XCOM 2. It will be an interesting game to play again. I had such a great time last time through. We played for the old new Xbox game, and not the old original XCOM, but the new old XCOM, because that was one of the greatest experiences I ever had. Playing with my viewers was such a benefit for me. I experienced the game so differently with all the feedback, and having viewer soldiers as a part of my gameplay really meant something because many of my soldiers represented a real person that was invested in that soldier story, and that is why probably XCOM is one of the best games ever to actually do game videos about, because you can have your friends and your subscribers and I can play with my friends, and they are a part of the game, and I have responsibility over their success or failure, and that's a very strong emotional tool to have playing a game. And I really look forward. But it's interesting. XCOM 2. The story about XCOM 2 is it works this way in the all new XCOM system. In the first XCOM and in Unknown, it worked like that. That XCOM was an organization, a military organization that was funded by the whole world. So we had 5 continents, or 6, or let me think, the South America, North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. So that was the math 5 countries or 6. I can't count on my second language and speak at the same time. It's too much for my brain. Yeah, but what happened was when you was going on a mission, you often have 3 choices. You have 3 continents to you be called for to make to do a mission to limit the alien threat. For example, it could be an abduction mission in United States, and it could be alien terror mission in Germany, and it could be some other mission in UFO landing in Asia. And you had to choose which continent you wanted to help, and not only continent you needed to help the country. So if the alien threat went unchecked too much, so you had to prioritize which country you wanted to help, because if you lost too many countries, they give you funding, and if they have too unchecked alien activity, they would leave the XCOM project. They would stop their funding, and when the funding stopped from one country, it will more than half in one continent or something like that left the XCOM system, you will lose the whole continent, and the alien threat would be unchecked there, and you will lose the funding. And this is what happened. What happened in XCOM 2. The XCOM didn't succeed to receive funding. All the countries left the XCOM project. They didn't fund it anymore because either they dropped out because they was afraid to support XCOM because of the alien threat was so extensive, and they really didn't want to piss off the aliens, or they were just pissed off that XCOM didn't do what they do. But that was really happened. So in 20 years later, in XCOM 2, the aliens has ruled the Earth for 20 years, and they have more or less put the whole countries into rumble. So every big city, it doesn't exist there. There is just stones and ruins. But they have built new cities on these cities. They have these new settlements where alien rules this, and this is ruled by a ruling military class that is having all the power over people in these settlements. They are it's optional to join these settlements, but there are many perks to join these alien commanded centers where the Advent is interesting in itself because they are humans that are working for the aliens, and they speak their own language that is like no earthly language at all on the Earth. So people call them Yabbers because they are speaking with strange languages that has no relation to any human language known to us. So I know as much about this story because I decided to read the book. They released a pre-sequel before, so the book takes place before this game, so I know a little bit about the world we're gonna go into this Friday. And this world is very different because of the alien have ruled Earth for 20 years, yeah. And read the book. It was not a great read. It took 3 hours to finish it, and it was not the greatest book I ever read, so I really don't feel like I can recommend it. But I read it anyway because I thought it was a good thing to do. Because I want people that are new to the series, if they're following my channel and so on, that I have all the backstory information. Yeah, so let's go back to those cities again that aliens rule. It is really cool because they build these clean, super clean, organized cities, modular buildings and so on. And they have their statues with aliens helping humans, so they are like the saviors of the human race. That's how their propaganda goes, that before aliens ruled the Earth, there was bigotry, wars, and poverty and starvation. And all those things the alien has a fix for. They even have a fix for all those genetic diseases. For cancer, you can go to gene therapy, and they can cure cancer, and they have food also is interesting. They have something they call core, that is the food people eat, and this is recycled protein. That's what the alien call it, but nobody really knows what it is. But so they are living in the perfect society where there is no war. Advent is strong, and they're both the military and the ruling class of. And nobody really knows if where Advent comes from and if they're human. And the speculation is by the resistance groups that it is optional to live in these cities. Many people choose to live in it because it's awful to live outside of these cities. They don't have the infrastructure anymore because the alien has fucking ruined Earth, but they have their great cities. So it's optional to live there, but they don't have anything, and people are disappearing. And they are just disappearing, and the Advent propaganda blamed this on the resistance groups and the dissident groups outside the cities. They are the ones that make people disappear. For example, in the book, they are telling that around 6,000 people has disappeared in that city, a large city by about a million people, but they blame it all. So Advent blames all problems on the people that are not living in the city. So they are looking up on the people in these cities as saviors and protectors, and so many people in 20 years have actually never remember how the world was before. They have more or less cleaned out all the stuff, like old movies. They have new TV shows, all things about human history. They are more or less erased from people, so they don't see old movies. So many people decide probably just not to think about it any longer, how it was before the alien took over, and so on. And it's really very interesting because And this Advent, they also go out outside of these cities they have built and check on it. Sometimes they can be for weeks in these other settlements, the alternative settlements where the infrastructure is where free people live, or they call themselves free. That's the thing. And sometimes they crack down and people just disappear. And this is something the city people just think about. These people living outside the cities are barbarians and so on, because that's the tune. They even have TV shows on the TV, how sitcoms about how it is to live outside the city. So it's everything is very, very, very weird. Also, all the citizens of these cities, they have these implants where they had their personal information, like a passport or something, inside themselves. And not in the book, they are speculating that maybe the alien even can even know what their citizen is thinking and so on. So the other people are very scared about these implants. For example, in the books, one of the people, the first thing people outside the cities do when citizens from these cities comes out, they force them to remove their implant from them. So sometimes they do it without asking. So they will just drug them and rip out the implant because they are so scared about Advent. And many people doesn't see alien. They don't have they don't have this interaction directly to the sectoids or the other alien races. They don't have this interaction with them directly. They have this middle-head Advent, this kind of human. Maybe they are not human. That's one of the things we're gonna find out probably in the new game, if what the fuck Advent actually is, if there are some kind of alien-bred humans with alien DNA. I don't know, but Advent is the face of the aliens in these cities, and as I said before, they are saviors and protectors and so on, so people really support them. So it's very interesting. So the story is this. So the Earth has been ruled for 20 years in this way. So there are still a resistance. So XCOM itself, the organization, is more like a legend now, because people can remember the war, but XCOM was not a very open organization, I believe, so they don't really know so much about XCOM. It's more like legends where the last humans took a last stand against the alien, but they lost, and as usual in history, victors write histories, like they say. So not much is known about XCOM, so we are probably gonna play as the resistance group here, and I can just imagine in the books they are speculating how XCOM, and the book is interesting in that way because we can meet Dr. Shen, our engineer chief in XCOM Enemy Unknown. He has gotten a daughter, also a Shen, so some also very intelligent, can build stuff. And Dr. Valen is also back, and she is, as usual, she was the girl, lead scientist lady, and she was always the one that made those funny experiments in XCOM Unknown. It was always fun to hear her talk about the aliens. She was a cruel lady and always nagging. I will miss her. But also Bradford makes a small appearance in the book, and I think Bradford and the daughter of Xian will be part of the new games. I've constantly put myself in a uncreated media blackout because I want to experience with my viewers where the first time I meet a new alien type. I don't want to have any advanced information. I've just checked the classes online just to get a know to. So that's one of the reasons why I will not play on Impossible Iron Man or in XCOM 2 on my first playthrough, because I don't want to prepare myself, because I want to figure it out myself for the first playthrough. But I checked out the classes and it looks very exciting about the new classes, and I really like that, because One thing they also added in the new game, a lot more customability concerning soldiers, and that's excellent with my viewer soldiers. And I'm so happy because it's fun to do this series, and I got old friends showing up and signing up as soldiers, as Frank Germany and Beranie signing up as soldiers. So it's a good start. Even if I just get one viewer soldier, that is more than enough for me to make it a fun journey through the game, and I really look forward for this playthrough just to experience the game with my friends again. It's such an honor to have viewer soldiers that people actually want to be part of my series. That's really, really, really fun. Yeah, so they have added a lot of customability, so that's fun. That we will see more of, and it would be interesting to see, as XCOM was a very powerful organization. They was backed in the old game. They were backed by the whole world. They have funding from the whole continent in the world, and they have. But now we will take the role as a resistant group. A small group is gonna face the alien threat, and this is not just they are not just invading, they have already invaded. It's not enough that they actually rules the world. They rules the Earth. They are the rulers of Earth, and we are gonna fight them. So we are a real underdog. We have to claw ourselves every inch to get back some power and change the trend. So it would be interesting. I think many things will be about rediscovering old XCOM tactics, rediscovering important scientists, save people, loot and shoot, and everything to build up a new XCOM, a new organization that can face this alien threat. Even that they are weaker than everyone, they will have a tougher time. This is not XCOM where the whole world is supporting you. This is people from Resistance. We don't have access to alien technology. We have to try to steal it, re-engineer it again, just like XCOM, but without the support of everyone in the world. We will probably have to do missions where we have to just change the event propaganda. We probably have to win people over to our side, because most people in the world would probably think the alien is the best ruler of the Earth, and they don't want to change a thing because the perks alien has bring through. They have destroyed. There's like a military dictatorship. They have destroyed all crime. They have cured uncurable diseases. Everyone has food on their table. There are no wars, and so on. But the cost of this is humanity. That's, I think, the game story is about, to recover humanity from these aliens. The freedom and the free will of humans, we humans, even that we must have the right to make the wrong decisions. That's one of the biggest things to be human, I think. And I really like this story because I think it's a good story. It's a strong story. I really like that because you can replace alien with any kind of dictatorship, but I think about this, when people just become cattle to their rulers, they don't understand that they are just a function in a big machine. And that's the scary thing about in this world, is that people really doesn't know, for example, the core, the recycled protein, where it comes from. And people disappear, but nobody knows what happens to them. And the rulers and the protectors and saviors at the end, they have their own strange language. Are they even human? Or what do they want from humanity? I don't think they are alien doing with. Alien has some functions here, and we don't know what. And one of the things we touched a little bit about in the older XCOM game, older, newer to be exact, is that the alien is always looking for new DNA. That's one of the end mission is about this. You meet all the alien types. They're from different planets. It's like this alien ruling class is searching for the perfect warrior, the perfect thing, and I think humans are the answer for the perfect adaptable warrior race. So if they can crisscross with DNA and create new type of races, I think humans are just nothing more than guinea pigs, so they can take over the world. We don't really know what the aliens really want, but humans is, when you win the XCOM or early XCOM games, it's like you meet these Eternals, and they are saying every other race than humans has failed so far. The Chrysalids has failed, the Mutants has failed, and the Sectoids has failed. But humans race, so I think the human race has something they want, and it's not like they want slaves, they want human DNA. That's my take on that, actually. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna touch this so much when I'm playing, because I'm gonna probably be overwhelmed playing this game. It's a highly difficult game, and it's a highly challenging game. It's one of the reasons I liked it. But I always liked the story in XCOM. I always liked science fiction, and I think the new story is even better. I think it's cooler to be the underdog and to change people's mind and win people over to a new world where humans will once again rule, for better or for good or for evil. But that's the part of about being human. We all have those qualities. We have different qualities, and I think that's what makes humans unique, because we are capable of so much good and so much evil. And what makes us so different is that we have to choose to which kind of human being we want to be. And in this story, we want to give people back their own thoughts. We want to give the big people back their own human culture, because I think that's one of the things. If you want a pleasant society, you will make everything perfect. It's like a utopia where everyone is equal and so on. And that has never worked in human history, but Alien has got it to work, but it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, that was everything, and as always, thank you for listening.